eloquently speaking. Welcome back to another episode of Legal Talk, where law meets justice and advocacy becomes action. I'm your host, Dr. Vickie Simon, and today we're changing direction because fear has had enough airtime, and because chaos is not strategy, and because while the system might want us distracted, we still have a nation to rebuild. This episode I'm calling From Fear to Framework and Rebuilding Through Strategy. Now, let's be honest, fear is being weaponized. Turn on your TV and it's shut down panic, political fights in a 24-hour crisis loop. Yes, absolutely, the shutdown is real, and federal programs are frozen, SNAP benefits are delayed, and workers are absolutely scared. But here's the truth. Fear is how the system maintains control. Because when you're scared, you freeze. When you freeze, you stop prioritizing. You stop organizing. And when you stop organizing, they win. So today is not about panic. It's about precision. It's about knowing where to push, how to plan, and who to unite. Here's where we are. The federal government remains in partial shutdown. The USDA is warning states that SNAP funding beyond November is uncertain. WIC benefits could pause for mothers and children if Congress does not approve emergency funding. And federal workers from the IRS to the VA are facing furlough or delayed pay. Now, just yesterday, I was having a face-to-face conversation with one of my girlfriends, and we talked about how even the individuals on the state level are not using contingency funds that are normally utilized when the state is in a shutdown. We should not have any delays in benefits. However, but here's what's missing from the headlines and our leverage. Because the people aren't powerless in a shutdown, we can pressure our state and local governments to act, to allocate emergency funds, to reopen food programs, to prioritize maternal and child health during this federal gridlock. Governors can authorize temporary relief. City councils can pass emergency ordinances, and nonprofits and local business can fill gaps if they're mobilized. Fear tells you to wait for Congress. Strategy says, let's start where we are. Every time we're divided, rural versus urban, black versus white, red versus blue, the system that failed us stays standing. Unity is not a hashtag, it's an infrastructure. Now, ask yourself, do you know local groups feeding families during the shutdown? Have you reached out to the single mothers in your neighborhood who rely on WIC? Have you checked what your mayor or city council is doing to prepare? Because unity is provision and provision is policy. We can't build equity without building systems that feed, house, and heal our people. Here's your legal and civic strategy checklist for this week. 1. Local action. Contact your city or county commissioners. Demand a public emergency plan for food and healthcare access during the shutdown. Number 2, community legal clinics. Partner with or volunteer for local clinics offering advice on SNAP housing or wage issues during this shutdown. Number 3, policy circles. Form or join a small policy accountability group. Track how your representatives vote on budgets, healthcare, and social safety net bills. Number 4, coalition building. Reach out across sectors, educators, nurses, lawyers, clergy, and build shared advocacy plans for when Congress reopens funding. And number 5, messaging. Stop spreading fear posts. Share facts, resources, and hope instead. Fear drains energy, but strategy restores it. This shutdown can either be remembered as another moment of despair or the moment the people started governing themselves differently. We can draft community-driven policies and proposals for maternity health equity. We can push state legislators to pass transparency and accountability laws for healthcare funding. We can build public dashboards that track local spending on women and children's health. It's not just about protests, it's about prototypes. We have to start modeling the systems we deserve, not just begging for them. We've survived worse, but survival isn't the goal anymore. The goal is structure, the goal is strategy. The goal is solidarity because fear will tell you we're divided, but unity informed by purpose says otherwise. If today's episode moved you, organize. If today's episode moved you, informed you, or sparked a question, share it. If it challenged you, begin to plan. And if it reminded you that power lives in people, I beg you to act. When fear breaks us down, strategy builds us back up. Legal talk is not just commentary, it's resistance. It's a call to action and a reminder that justice doesn't just come from silence. Let's make sure that this is one of many episodes that not changes just minds, but changes policy. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Legal Talk today. I'm your host, Dr. Vickie Simon. I love you, and I'll see you on the front lines of reform. Until next time, stay informed, stay ethical, and keep serving your community.